Hi everybody, it's Linda. I am back with a flip through of my latest journal. It's a Vincent Van Gogh themed journal, and it is very much inspired by Mrs. Coggs from Mrs. Coggs Crafts. She did some of the most beautiful Vincent Van Gogh journals, and she has some beautiful digitals in her shop on Etsy, which is called Mrs. Coggs Crafts. And I am using those digitals in this book. I have always loved Vincent Van Gogh, loved hearing about him, loved his paintings, just find him to be very fascinating. And I really, really enjoyed putting this together. So anyway, let's get to it. It is a hardback book that I altered and added a hidden spine. And I covered it with fabric, and this is one of Mrs. Coggs' digitals that I actually printed on a piece of fabric. So this is Starry Night on fabric. I did some decorative stitching with my machine, and I took a self-portrait of Vincent Van Gogh, and I placed it here under this wooden kind of chipboard gold frame. I added some buttons. I'm going to try to get you close, and some charms. I love this artist charm, and then some little beads that I added. And this button here I thought really reminded me of Starry Night. I love the swirls and the star kind of shape on there. I covered the spine with some sunflowers fabric. Sunflowers are one of his common paintings in one of his popular paintings. And closures here with some beautiful green sari silk. I used a lot of the jewel tones in here, greens, deep greens and blues and golds, kind of like in his paintings. So I'm gonna open this up. I have a new filming setup here, and I feel like maybe I'm too close. I'm not sure. Let me know if you've watched any of my other videos and you have any feedback on this new setup of mine. It is a little late in the day, so the lighting may not be perfect, but I'd really like to know if you feel like it's the same or better, or what, if you have any thoughts on that at all. Anyway, then the front cover is a library card and a letter from me in an envelope, and I decoupaged some sunflowers from a napkin onto that. And I made a fabric pocket here with the decorative stitching that matches the cover. I did put quite a lot. I was really inspired by Mrs. Coggs, and her journals were so beautifully embellished with fabrics and textures. And so I tried to add more than probably what I would usually add to my journals. So this is a really beautiful vintage sunflower lace border that I had in my laces that I thought went beautifully with the sunflowers and the theme. And it was already distressed like this. I don't know if you can tell, there's some variation. It looks like I coffee dyed it, but it was like that. Okay, so this is a journal card that I made, and I grew up in the 70s, and the song Vincent, which some people call Starry, Starry Night by Don McLean. You know, Starry, Starry Night, paint your palette blue and gray. I'm not going to sing, but that's how it goes in case you're trying to recall that song. Was always a favorite song of mine. So I found the words and the lyrics to that song and printed them out and made this little journal card to put in the front as kind of my addition to this journal. And most of all of the images, the rest of the images that you'll see are all from Mrs. Coggs' beautiful, beautiful digital kit. So Van Gogh said of Starry Night, firmament and planets both disappeared, but the mighty breath which gives life to all things and in which all is bound up remained. Those were his words about his painting, and that is really my favorite of all the Van Gogh paintings. So some vintage music paper, some mulberry paper, I tried to leave a lot of blank space in here for adding your own things. My coffee dyed paper. This is a journal card that I made from Mrs. Cogg's Digitals. These are his irises, which are also one of his famous paintings, one of his sunflowers, and some of his other still life. The journal ended up getting more gator mouth than I usually like my journals to get. So what I did was I did not back most of the ephemera just because it really adds a lot of bulk. So hopefully that'll be something you can add yourself if you want to, or it kind of depends on how you want to use the journal. If you want to add your own things to it, take things out, whatever. But I just wanted to let you know that. And this is a fabric ruffle I made from some sunflower fabric. Again, one of Van Gogh's paintings. I believe he used to sketch most of his famous paintings first, and this may be his sketch of the cafe, which is one of his paintings, and I believe it's in here as well. Some coffee dyed lined paper. This little greeting card or playing card, and this book is filled with some of the phrases and quotations from Vincent Van Gogh himself. They were part of Mrs. Cogg's Digital. And this says, "So let us go forward quietly, each on his own path, forever making for the light." So I had this playing card with the vintage sun, and I thought that went nicely with it. And some sari silk. I tried to use some sari silks in the rich colors to kind of accent this journal. More mulberry paper. This is the center of the first signature. There are 3 signatures, and each signature has a famous painting, a double spread, and also I beaded in some matching beads the signature ends. One of them dangles below the book and one stays in the center. So this is his cherry blossoms, cherry almond blossoms, something like that. I should have my notes here next to me so I can quote these things correctly. So more beautiful blank papers and coffee dyed. One of his, I love the wonky houses. This was, we had our patio repaved, and I saved the booklet, and I thought it would remind me of a palette, a painter's palette. So, and I loved the colors kind of went in with it, the theme of the journal. So I made a pocket there, or a side tuck spot. This is one of Vincent's paintings. I made a journaling card. And this was a fun page. This is of course, a junk mail envelope, and I starry nighted it up. I made a large Starry Night tag, and as you can see, this is a window envelope, and it fits right in there, and you can see. And I put in 2 of the Starry Night tags that came in her digital. This is the original Starry Night, and this painting is called The Other Starry Night, and they're both famous. And I did some wonky stitching and added some sari silk toppers to the tags. I thought that had a fun artsy kind of look. And this envelope came with all of these 1-cent pear stamps on it. I love when I get those envelopes. And then a Tracy Fox label. Here's another of his paintings. And his quote, "I confess I do not know why, but looking at the stars always makes me dream." And I used some washi tapes, some Vincent Van Gogh washi tapes. "If I succeed in putting some warmth and love into the work, then it will find friends." He was famous for painting old shoes, and I love his old shoe paintings. I think they are also among my favorites. We're between the first and second signature, and I added this wonderful, I guess you can see this wonderful jeweled goldy bronze trim that I thought just really looked elegant and special on here. And then here's another tag made out of a time card, and one of his quotes, "Your profession is not what brings home your weekly paycheck. Your profession is what you're put here on earth to do, with such passion and such intensity that it becomes spiritual and calling." I love that quote. And I made this pocket from a piece of embossed paper. This is the digital that includes some of his self-portraits. Another one of his paintings. He was really famous for drawing faces. He loved to paint faces and paint people. This is some kind of cherished piece of tapestry that I have, and I use it sparingly, but I was really excited to use it. It seemed appropriate in this journal. And this is some of my coffee dyed paper from my pizza pan with the holes in it that creates this beautiful polka dot effect. Some more mulberry paper. This is the cafe, his painting. These are the shoes, some of his shoes that he paints, and I just absolutely love these. They just speak volumes to me, looking at those shoes, about what life was like in his time. Here is a fabric flip, and I saved, a lot of times I cover these things, but this says grounded artist paper, and courtesy of Misty Maughan, this was from actually a page of a Somerset studio, and this is a freebie artist paper that came in one of their publications. So I wanted to leave that credit for where this paper came from. And it's very artsy and very, just matches this journal so well. I thought it looked great in there. And here is some vintage ledger. Here is a long tuck that I made from part of the Starry Night. And I found the Starry Night pie recipe. Isn't that great? I don't know if you can see that, but it's has this delicious blueberry pie filling, and then you cut stars for the top crust of the pie. So it has the stars with like a dark blue background. So I thought that would be a fun recipe to put in here. And then this is another one of my favorites. The family, the little girl is just walking, and the dad looks like he was working in the fields and is holding out his arms for her to run, to walk. And here are some beads that I used in the center of this signature. There's a crystal and a star and a wooden bead and just some matching colors. Love this. Love the colors and just the whole thing. This is the other side of the ledger. It's a little bit of a fold out. This was kind of fun. This was just a multi-tag layout here. It's just a coffee dyed tag, and then two Van Gogh images This is the same one we just saw with the mother and the little girl walking. And then this is one of his landscape, or is that what you call it? Landscape paintings. Okay, so lots of room for journaling there. This is the back side of that artist paper. This is from the digitals, the quotes and the picture. There is peace even in the storm. I love that. The mother holding the infant and both of them falling asleep in the chair. And then I made a ruffle from the fabric that I used to cover, on the cover. And this old guy, I love his drawings of old men. Reading a book in an old chair, and one of his flower lemons. I think it's the name of this has something to do with lemons. And I did some stitching along the tops of the pages, some of them. This is great. Normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk, but no flowers grow on it. Such a good quote. And then here's another one of those color palette tucks, and this tag that I made, this is from the digital. It looks like it's written in German, and it's some information about Vincent Van Gogh, and this looks like the Orphan Man walking with an umbrella. Looks like maybe a sketch from his diary. These are a few more on the backside of his self-portraits. If you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere. This is also from, I believe, from his diary. One of his sketches on an altered project life card. I used some Van Gogh washi to trim. This is another embossed piece of cardstock that I made into a pocket. And some very vintage and distressed trim, lace trim here. On the back of this last page of the signature, close friends are truly life's treasures. Sometimes they know us better than we know ourselves. With gentle honesty, they are there to guide and support us, to share our laughter and our tears. Their presence reminds us that we are never really alone. Such great quotes and phrases. And this is decoupage napkin on this first page of the third signature. This is the Orphan Man, one of his popular illustrations or drawings, and I just kind of made a double tag here with some Tracy labels. And this is some coffee dyed paper, some avocado dyed paper. This bag has I forgot to put the beads on it. I do that sometimes. I guess the beads will be a surprise. I always bead the ties. But this is some lavender chamomile tea in this little tea bag. And some Starry Night washi tape. And I will have beads that will be hanging out on these ties here. And then I just closed it with a little doily and a fabric and paper clip. Okay. Not closing back up smoothly here for me. Here we go. All right, that'll work for now. Okay, and then this is another fabric tuck that I made with some, what do they call that stuff? Gimp trim, maybe? Has the swirls that remind me of Starry Night. and then some hidden journaling space there. And these are some of his faces from his paintings. And one of his phrases, there is nothing more artistic than loving people. And that's probably my favorite quote or phrase in the book. I just love that. So very true. Here's some strawberries in one of his famous chairs. Strawberries. Holy smokes, did I say strawberries? I guess sunflowers. I must, I don't know why I have strawberries on my brain. Okay, and then this page is a belly band that I made from the fabric and all, from the sunflower fabric and the sunflower trim, top and bottom. And then I made just a tiny little junk journal here, a little paper journal that I used a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to put together. So this is something you can tuck in your purse or write notes, I don't know, however you might like to use it. But I thought it was fun. So just sits right there. Some more mulberry paper, scrapbook paper. I am seeking, I am striving, I am in it with all my heart. Here is Gail Augustinelli's woven pockets. And there are 3 little tags here. And then 3 larger tags tucked into the big pocket. And I accented with the sunflower fabric and the sunflower washi. I just love mustard yellow and blue together. I just love that combination. I also like the mustard yellow with shades of pink or rose too. And look at that, just breathtaking digital there of Starry Night. I added kind of some extra beads to that, and then the beads to the bottom. This is actually Swarovski crystal, and this is a piece of blue tiger eye. Can't remember. Anyway, that's a real gemstone of some sort, semi-precious stone. Can't remember now. So, ooh, breathtaking, isn't it? Okay, so we are in the last signature here, winding up, winding down. And this says, if you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere. And I just tucked in just some more of his illustrations and drawings in tag form. This is a large tag that is from, I made these pockets from one of the large digital pages of one of his paintings, and this was a part of it as well. You can see people working in the fields. There might be a really big glare there. And I topped it with some sari silk so that it would be sticking out the top. I'll show you the top of the journal and the bottom here in just a minute. The other side of his faces. This is the other side of the paper bag, and this will not be empty when it reaches you. There will be surprises in it. Avocado lined, dyed and lined paper, and then this last page is a tag with a pocket and 2 tags inside. It says, art is something greater and higher than our own skill, our knowledge, or learning. That art is something which, though produced by human hands, is not wrought by hands alone, but wells up from a deeper source, from a man's soul. I thought that was pretty appropriate for him. Okay, so that is the inside of the last page. Coffee dyed pocket, another trim of the sunflowers, And then in the back, I just put some offcuts and some extra quotes and such. So there's a pocket there on the back as well. That's the back cover. And then you can see, I hope I'm not too close, but there's, I'm going to turn it over, sorry. The sari silks from the tops of the tags, peek out the top. There's all of the different colors. And then on the side, you can kind of see the ruffles. And then on the bottom, the beads that hang out the side there. Oh, I'm sorry. I have no idea how I stayed in frame on this video. Let me know if they're getting any easier to watch in terms of how I film them and such. I don't edit yet, so, but I do have a new filming arm and a new light, so I'm hoping that they're improving. I'd like to do some process videos and make some things with you. If that would be interesting, leave me a comment and let me know if that's something you would enjoy from me, or if you're really just enjoy the journal flip-throughs. And also, I love to get some ideas for what kinds of journals you would like to see, what kinds of themes would you like to see. So anyway, this is Vincent Van Gogh, and I will be adding him, today is Saturday, Sunday morning, he will be added to my Etsy shop and available for purchase. So I'm going to show you just really quick. I have started on my next project, and it's ambitious. Once again, also inspired by Mrs. Coggs. I'm doing a series of fairy journals. The last fairy journal that I made was really popular. So I have these alphabet panels. So I'm going to make, this isn't on here yet. I haven't, it's just starting. I have this wonderful butterfly. So I thought I'd make some summertime fairy journals. This is A. I'm going to do A, B, C, and D, and I have them all started. So that's my next project. And I have some of the papers that I've chosen for the signature. So we're just starting. Can't show you too much, but I can tell you I don't think they'll take me too long once I really delve into them. So that's what's coming down the pike. I'm really excited. I love fairies. I love working with a fairy theme. So anyway, that's it. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your comments. I love getting comments. It's so fun, so exciting. And thank you to my new subscribers. My little baby channel is slowly growing, and I'm having a good time with it. And I love sharing my journals with you. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.